So I just got back from seeing Tokyo Ghoul S, and I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on it. For this, I'm gonna just kind of do something very quick, off the cuff. So there's not gonna be any fancy editing or footage, so you can do whatever while you listen to this. And also, I'm gonna try and talk about some stuff that of where it could be going, and so I'm gonna be spoiling a few things from the anime and the manga. So if you haven't read or seen, preferably you should read it, then you can go ahead and just stop here. Alright, so these live action movies have been okay so far. They kind of drag in the middle, if I'm being honest, but the endings have always been pretty good so far, and the actors are fantastic, and the effects seem to have improved, or rather they just maybe framed them better so you couldn't see the issues with them, like the Kagane fusing with the bodies. One thing that is really concerning me, however, is how long this series will take to adapt. So far, they've adapted 2 small arcs from the series, and instead, have taken their time with so the first movie covered the arc with Kaneki, up to Kaneki versus Amon, in the after Hinami's mother was killed. Then this movie covers the whole gourmet arc. And what's interesting about that is basically in the first 2 movies, we haven't even gotten through half of the manga, the original manga. Meaning that the next movie will probably be just either all of, or potentially even just the first part of the Jason arc. Because the Jason arc is, from my memory, rather long, and they haven't done a whole lot of setup for Jason yet, and so they may have to do 2 parts. And that's what brings up my biggest fear, is that there's going to be so many movies to cover the entire story if they want to adapt it faithfully, that I don't think it's physically possible to do it in time. It took 2 years for this movie to be made, and the directors and producers were different this time around, so it wasn't the same person working on it back to back. It was a whole new group, and so what happened was basically 2 years. So if the rate it's going at, it might be 12 to 14 movies for the whole series, meaning that it could take possibly 28 years the rate it's going, which is not possible. The actors would be too old to play the characters that they're playing now, and so they'd have to do something to speed up the process. One way they could do it is they could have multiple different directors and producers and stuff working on several films at the same time. That way they can release them in a timely manner and actually have their characters the actors not getting too old for their characters. Another option is what scares me the most, which is condensing the story. Now, so far, it's been really taking its time and trying to adapt it faithfully, and I've really been appreciative of that, especially since the anime has not been the best at that. But at the end of the movie, we get to see that in the end credit scene, it's Furuta, a character that wasn't introduced until Re. And then Itori, the ghoul at the Helter Skelter bar, mentions to Kaneki about how his accident wasn't in fact an accident, which is, if I'm not mistaken, isn't revealed to him until Re as well. So it seems like they might be trying to either introduce key player characters early so they spend less time developing them and more time on this story for future films, or they're planning on condensing the story and possibly even taking it in a new direction. And on the one hand, I get it, because as I just said, there's no physical way that they could do the entire series at the rate they're going. But at the same time, a big part of why I've been really interested in these movies is that it's an opportunity to adapt the story in a much more faithful manner, because Tokyo Ghoul Route A, while it followed a few story beats from the manga, pretty much just went in a completely different direction. So we haven't gotten that story arc adapted properly yet. And then we also have Tokyo Ghoul Re, which was really rushed, and the manga itself had a rushed ending, and so that on top of it is not exactly very good. And so what I was also hoping for is maybe they could repace the ending, so that take their time and make it better. But the problem, what it's seeming now, is that they might not get that chance. And so I'm kind of like in a bit of a strange situation. Like, on the one hand, I want to see them be able to complete the series, but I don't think it's going to be possible. And I don't know, they either have to get, like, basically do what Marvel did, like have a bunch of directors and I'll have them all working on their movies pretty much at the same time, or they're going to have to do something original, which would really suck. Because ultimately, I do think that the best thing for the series would be to get, like, the Brotherhood treatment, where they can just, like, redo the entire anime, do it faithfully, do it well. Don't give it to Studio Clown, please. They've already screwed it up enough. But, like, as of right now, the movies are all we have. And I don't know. They've been okay. Like, and overall, they're okay. Like, there are great elements about them, and, like, so I've been having my fun. I just wish that, like, it could be better. And now knowing that it's possible that they're going to be going into an original territory where they either just condense or remove major story arcs, or just go in a completely different direction, is kind of scary. Like, Furuta in the end, he mentions dragon. Like, he's Kaneki as the dragon. So the dragon on the storyline seems to still be there. So Furuta's main goal, as far as we can tell, is going to be the same as it was in the manga. So the story, at the very least, will have a similar structure, but we don't know how long it'll take to get to that point. Who knows? It could turn out better than I expected. Who knows? I'll have to wait and see. This was kind of just a bunch of rambling. I know it might be a bit incoherent, and it's definitely kind of sloppy, not like, I guess, my usual standard of scripted content, but, you know, I just got back, didn't have too much to say, and so I figured, like, I just kind of put it out there because I haven't posted anything in a while. Alright, that's all. I guess, would I recommend the movie? I'd say yes. If you're a Tokyo Ghoul fan and you've been looking forward to something, then you're kind of disappointed by the anime. The film's doing an okay job, and, like, because it's in live action, the gore and horror is much more disturbing, because, like, with an animated manga, it's like they're stylized, and so it's not really as disturbing, but seeing, like, a human being having their body part, like, dismembered, or someone's eye being ripped out and eaten, that's something that is nowhere near as disturbing in anime form. So I'd say go see the movies if you can, but ultimately, like, I don't know, like, don't expect too much, because, again, it doesn't have the best budget. It's not like Disney budget or anything like that. So, and go in there and enjoy the cringe and the cheese, and appreciate the good acting and surprisingly really good action sequences. All right, I'm gonna end it here because I have no idea where to go now. Take care. Hopefully you enjoyed this to some degree.